things that we teach with regards to the zero to infinity your mind is we'll talk about positive affirmations, when to use them, when not to use them specifically. We'll have some brain training that will go on. We'll have some visualization for success, visualizing it in how many different ways, from how many different perspectives. If you really want something to come to fruition, you want to harness the power of visualizing, it can be from many different people's perspectives, not just yours, right? That's what makes it so real, is you can pop yourselves in the seat of many different people and you can get there. We have an amazing energy healer and coach, Monique, my wife.
I am an energy healer. I teach intuitive development and a spiritual mentor, and I help people learn about themselves and how to use their energy and the energy around them to create realities that they really enjoy and want to live, not something that they feel like they have to live.
So some other things we're going to talk about are the law of attraction, lots of gratitude practices, how powerful love and gratitude are, that mind-body connection, we'll talk about that, mindset shifts so that we can have personal growth, so that we can have professional growth. These mindset shifts are awesome, especially when you can find yourself in one of those states where you have a block that's coming up. It's really stressing you out. How can you shift out of that state so that you can really quickly go back to a very productive state, a happy state for everyone around you? It just makes you feel real good. Let's go elevate your mind and tap that infinity button.
Every time Zach says tap that infinity button, I start singing tap that by the smack that song by Akon in my head. Funny. All right. Hey, Curtis. Thank you. Okay. Let me get this set up. Okay. Hello. I'm Monique, if you're new here, and I am Zach's wife. I am an energy healer and intuitive development coach, and I help you, yes, get your mindset right, but it's so much deeper than mindset. Like, the mind is the end game, right? The brain is the end organ. Everything, all the good stuff happens in the body. And that is our energy field, our subconscious mind. So these Mindset Monday calls are meant to support you and to help you shift your mindset, get into a helpful mindset through working with your energy, learning how to hack your subconscious mind and how to work with the energy that is all around us to make things a little bit easier for you guys. So used to do like a lot of talking during these, and I switched to doing more exercises. Today's going to be a combination of both, because we have the solar eclipse happening today. If you're in North America, it's a full solar eclipse that you can see if you're in like a specific line through the United States. So there's a lot of energy that we can work with today and throughout this entire week. So I wanted to give you guys an exercise that you could do at any time throughout the day today or through this entire week to work with the energy that comes with the solar eclipse. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of some information. Obviously, we all know what our sign is. There's even jokes about it. Like, if she starts asking you what's your astrological sign, like, that's a red flag, because everybody is into the zodiac things, like the comparison of like, are our signs compatible? Well, right now we're in Aries. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac year, of the zodiac calendar. So this is where we get our spring cleaning, our inspiration to do new things, because Aries is also a fire sign. It's the fiery energy. It's like that jump start that you need. It's the lighting a fire under your butt, right? To get things done. And right now the sun is in Aries. So this solar eclipse will be in Aries. So there's a lot of things that can happen with this energy, and we can work with this energy to help further us along with our own, right? With our own energy, with our own intentions. So today I'm going to leave you guys with an intention setting exercise that you can do today or any other day this week. But the reason that I wanted to bring you this exercise today is because so many of us as we are on the journey to having everything that we desire, right? Having the experiences, the opportunities, the finances, the love, the health, all of the things that we desire, we will inevitably come up against failure, right? And sometimes we can make that failure mean that we're disappointed or we are a disappointment. And then furthermore, we can create stories around, well, why even try? Right? Because I'm just going to be disappointed at the outcome. This always happens to me. Have you ever said anything along the lines to yourself around, this always happens to me? Oh, of course this happened. Oh, I was just waiting for this to happen. Right? Or even things like, what's the point in trying anymore? It's always the same outcome. Or we will get our hopes. I don't want to get my hopes up because in the past, when I've gotten my hopes up, it's fallen flat. Or I get my hopes up and then nothing happens. And then I'm like, see, that's why I don't get my hopes up. And we create these self-fulfilling prophecies of disappointment. And I want to invite a concept here that in the past, when you've had failure or when you've wanted to work towards something and it didn't work out how you thought it would, right? How have you responded to that disappointment? And in order to shift the energy around that disappointment moving forward, we have to shift how we respond. So the intention setting exercise that I'm going to give you guys today will be around creating awareness around how you respond when things might not pan out for you. Because there's a couple things that happen here. When we take action towards something and perhaps it doesn't turn out the way that we wanted it to, one, there is many reasons. There are many reasons why something might turn out the way that you didn't think it would. And I choose to believe that it's because something better is coming in to take its place, right? If our reality is just a big screenplay of all of the beliefs that we think, why not create really helpful beliefs, right? So one, it could be because something better is coming in. That's why this thing's not working out for you. Or it could be that you're not an energetic match for it. Or it could be that there's subconscious blocks that are preventing you from doing the things necessary or from aligning yourself with the people necessary to make things happen. So when all of those things are working together, then we will keep finding ourselves coming up against roadblocks. And so what I would love for you to just contemplate is, how have you responded in the past when things haven't worked out for you? How have you responded in the past when you've been disappointed? And where might you be preventing yourself from taking big action forward because of the fear of disappointment? Where are you preventing yourself from moving into more, from moving into bigger things because of the fear of disappointment? Because very often than not, we hold ourselves back from having amazing things, from creating wonderful things in our reality, simply because we are fearful that it's going to turn out how it's turned out before. Because we fear disappointment. We fear feeling that disappointment. But I argue that as you are expanding your capacity into receiving more, so every time we work towards a goal that we haven't yet accomplished before, so say you want to get a new deal of an amount of money that you've never made before in one deal, or you want to make more money in a year than you've ever made, or you want a healthy, loving relationship, but you've never experienced that, or you want to be at a certain weight, but you haven't been at that certain weight in your adult life, or whatever it is, right? You have to expand your energetic capacity to receive that. Otherwise, you won't. Everything is energy. Everything is energy in this universe. And if we're not an energetic match to what we want, we can't welcome it into our life. And a big way that we block that is through the fear of disappointment of not getting it. So we will prevent ourselves from taking the action necessary or from staying the course, staying consistent, and we'll start sabotaging ourselves because we've already decided that, well, this hasn't worked out in the past, so it's not going to work out in the future. So I'm just going to sabotage this so I'm not disappointed when it doesn't work out. Because if I end it first, I can't be disappointed. If I don't put my full self into this, I can't be disappointed. If I don't jump all the way in, I can't be disappointed. If I stay 1 foot in and 1 foot out, I can't be disappointed. And we create this wobbly energy. And if we have wobbly energy towards our goals, they're not going to happen. We have to be grounded in our own energy, in the pursuit of our goals. That's why with every single exercise I've been doing for like the past month, I always start with a grounding exercise. Always start with a grounding exercise. Get you grounded in your energy first, right? Positive self-image is also key. We must continue to see ourselves in a better way on all levels, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially. Yes, absolutely. You have to be able to see yourself as the version of you that has what you want, but also understand that that version of you is not better than you right now. That version of you is not like any amount. It's not like higher on a pedestal than where you are right now. So we have to take that pedestaling self off. We have to take that version of us that we have on a pedestal of, well, I'll have all of this money when, or I'll have this thing when, or I'll have this relationship when. That version of you is now. It's now. You just have to take that action forward, right? And there's a concept that we've been taught a lot. It's like, do the things to have the things and then become the person, right? So I'll take the action to have what it is that I want. And then once I have what I want, I'll become the person that has that. And that's very old school mentality. It's old school thinking. Now we want to shift into, I will become the version of me that has it. From that space, I will take the aligned action and then I will have the thing, right? So the exercise today will help you guys with this because it's from this space of taking action from the version of you that already has the thing, which I'll explain. I know I'm saying a lot. Then it's from this space that we are energetically aligning with our end goal. All right. So I want to give you guys just like a little image with my hands. So if you're over here, okay, and what you want is over here, the only thing that separates you from what you want energetically is the awareness that you don't have it. Okay? Because there are two frequencies that you can be on. Either I have it or I don't. It's like I'm pregnant or I'm not. I'm not kind of pregnant. I'm pregnant or I'm not. I have it or I don't. And the universe responds to who you are being energetically. It responds to who you are being energetically. Who are we energetically? We are a culmination of our thoughts, our emotions, our identity, which make up our identity, which then dictates the action that we take forward. Okay? So you're either in the energy of, I don't have what I want, or I do have what I want. Okay. You can be in the energy of having what you want without yet having it. Why? Because it's all about how will you feel when you have that thing. So how will you feel when you have that thing? You will feel love. You will feel free. You will feel relieved. You will feel happy. You will feel grateful, right? So that is the energy around having the thing that you want. But we will keep ourselves out of that energy because we fear that we won't get it. So then we're actually in the energy of disappointment. So what happens? We get more disappointment. we manifest more physical experiences that are disappointing because we've already decided that what's the point? I'm just going to be disappointed. I don't know if this will work out. I don't know if I can rely on other people. I have to do everything on my own. Things just don't work out for me. I'm not that type of person. Things work for everybody else but me. Whatever story we tell ourselves keeps us in that energy of disappointment. So I want to invite you into this awareness of how you've responded in the past when things haven't worked out for you. And I will argue that even if what you want doesn't work out for you in the time frame that you think it should, if you can shift how you respond, you've now shifted your energy. So if you can shift how you respond to, instead of feeling disappointed, you feel grateful for the experience, right? You feel grateful for the lessons. You feel excited that you've learned something new. You feel at peace that you have all of this new awareness. You are now in alignment to that goal. And not only are you in alignment to that goal, you have all of this awareness that you've gathered through this experience. So now something even better is making its way towards you. Does that make sense? So I really want you guys to just think about this for a moment, feel into this for a moment. And I always like to use examples of relationships because we've all been there with relationships. It's something that we can all easily just kind of bring to our memory. But if you've ever broken up with somebody, it probably felt really hard. You were disappointed in that, right? Or if you've been broken up with. But then knowing that at that time, if you can't see where you're going to turn. You can't see what's going to happen in the future, right? So looking back, if you didn't break up with that person, or if that person didn't break up with you, you wouldn't be where you are now if you're in a relationship. Or you wouldn't have had the experiences that you've had now. So we can express gratitude for everything that's happened in the past that has gotten us to where we are now, right? So I will just invite the concept of how can you respond differently if something just doesn't work out how you thought it would, when you thought it would. How do you show up? Because all you can control is you. All you can control is you. And you can control, yes, exactly. Not if, but when. When this shows up, who are you going to be? Who will you be when what you want shows up? Because if you are aligning to your goal by identifying the emotions that you're going to feel when you have that goal, and practice feeling those emotions every single day. Notice I say practice because it's a practice. You're not going to be in a state of gratitude, in a state of love, in a state of happiness, in a state of excitement all day long. You're going to oscillate in and out of it, and that's okay. We just want to bring awareness around when that happens. When do I notice myself shifting into that fear of disappointment? When do I notice myself shifting into the self-doubt? When do I notice myself shifting into that wobbly energy of, is this going to work out? Or what happens if this doesn't work out? And I already start doubting the process. Just notice when that starts happening. And then you can make a choice to shift back into, well, no, I'm choosing to stay empowered, that if this doesn't work out now, it's going to work out next time or the time after that, because it's not if, it's when. And you can start to create different stories, start to create different beliefs around the energy that supports you moving towards your goals, more supportive beliefs, right? So instead of getting frustrated that things aren't working out, instead of getting frustrated that it's not happening in the timeline that you thought it should happen, how can you shift that energy into feeling grateful that it's even happening, into feeling appreciation for yourself that you're even taking the step forward? And just notice how that feels in your body if you just even think about it. Because the more that you can become this person that is aware of, oh, I'm shifting into the self-doubt, I'm shifting into the lack, I'm shifting into the fear, I'm shifting into the disappointment, I'm shifting into whatever it is, the scarcity, right? The frustration. I'm noticing myself shifting into that. Okay, I have this awareness. Now it's a choice. So I can choose to shift into the energy of having the goal, of shifting into the gratitude, of shifting into the appreciation, of shifting into the excitement, of shifting into the happiness, the joy, the love. Even if it's just for a moment, even if it's just for 30 seconds, I can shift into this and choose to stay here. I can keep the idea of my goal in the energy of the love and the gratitude, the happiness, the joy. Okay. Because it's not about, like, I'm not saying never feel a negative emotion ever again. You're going to feel negative emotions. You're human, and it's important to feel them so that we can process the energy and release it from our field. But I really, really, really want to encourage you to, when you have a goal, when you have a desire, notice how you're keeping the energy of that goal and desire. Notice when you shift into that energy of frustration. When you think of that goal and desire, you're separating yourself from it. Remember, you're either in the energy of it or you're not. And then notice, okay, I want to be in the energy of my desire. So I want to feel grateful that I have this desire. I want to feel excited about it. It's going to happen when it happens. When it happens, not if it happens. It's going to happen when it happens. I feel empowered when I think of this desire. I feel grateful for what's already happened. Okay. So just notice when you start to shift into that energy of disappointment, that energy of frustration, when you're thinking about your goal or desire, when you're separating yourself from it, and then choose to bring yourself back. Choose to think of your goal or desire, choose to think of it and get excited about it again. Start thinking of all the possibility that you have. Start thinking of the infinite potential there is for it to happen. And you can use this energy right now, with it being Aries season, with it being a solar eclipse, with all the spring cleaning vibes coming in, to help really push you forward with this goal or desire. And also know that if it doesn't work out this time, you're going to be fine. You've survived every upset that you've ever had. You're going to be fine if it doesn't work out this time. But how will you respond if it does or if it doesn't work out? Because that is when you shift the energy. That is when you shift. Are you going to respond and say, oh, of course, I knew it was going to do this? Or, of course, I knew it was going to take longer to get worked out than originally planned? Or, oh, of course, I knew that this wasn't going to happen. Or do you say, okay, this didn't happen yet, but it's still going to, or something better is going to come in? Or you just shift your energy entirely and you just stay in that energy of, it's going to happen when it happens. And when it happens, I'm so ready for it. I'm so excited for it. I'm so ready for it. I'm so excited for it when it does happen. Okay. So the exercise that I would love to leave you guys with is intention setting. So with this being, we're in a new moon, the energy of the new moon, we're in the energy of Aries season. So the first sign of the zodiac calendar. So there's a lot of newness, a lot of fresh energy coming in, the spring cleaning energy, right? So I would love for you to, if you feel called, I invite you to do this exercise. You can do it today or sometime this week. Just write out the intentions that you have. Write out what you want to happen, right? Write out your goals, write out your desires. We're also in the 4th month of our year. So this is a good way to like realign yourself with your goals and desires. But more importantly, write out who you want to be in pursuit of those goals and desires. Write out the energy that you want to embody. So those emotions that you want to feel. So in pursuit of your goal, are you going to prepare for disappointment so you're not disappointed if it doesn't happen? Or are you going to prepare to be excited? Are you going to prepare for gratitude? Are you going to prepare for appreciation, for love, for when it happens or something better happens? It's your choice. And the percentage of either of those happening are equal, but it's so easy to just shy away because we don't want to be disappointed, right? I will challenge you to just fully commit to your goals, fully commit to your desires, fully commit to just who you want to be. Put both feet in. Don't keep one foot in, one foot out in that wobbly energy. So, who do you want to be in pursuit of your goals? This is when you think of that future self that already has those goals. Who are they? How do they feel on a daily basis? What are they thinking on a daily basis? What are their beliefs about themselves and about their goals happening? Write this down. It's so powerful to write things down because just the process of moving left to right, it triggers something in the brain that helps to rewire our beliefs. So you can write them out, and then on a separate piece of paper, write out everything that you're releasing, everything that you would like to release. So this could be a need to control, worrying, feeling anxious about things, feeling attached to things, doubting yourself, not believing in yourself, doubting the process, feeling scarcity or fear in your body around not having enough. Or just a belief that you have. Like maybe the belief is this always happens. The things don't work out for me. I'm someone that has to work hard where things come easy to other people. Maybe there's different beliefs there. So I will challenge you to just take some time. You don't need to take longer than 10 to 20 minutes if you want. You can take as long as you want. But write out these intentions of what you desire and who you are going to be in pursuit of that desire. And then everything that you want to release, and then burn them. And as you burn the pieces of paper, you're just sending this energy into the universe. It can be a really powerful exercise if you take the time to do it. Because it's one, as you write, you're reprogramming your subconscious. And two, as you burn it, you're just sending that energy out into the energy field that is all around us. You're alchemizing that energy. So that is the exercise for this week that if you would like to participate in, I would be curious to see how you feel after you do it. And just be aware of how you're showing up every day. Be aware of the energy that you're bringing to conversations, to the spaces that you enter, that you dwell in, to your relationships. What kind of energy are you bringing? Are you bringing an energy of a lower vibration or an energy of a higher vibration? Because remember, we become one with our goals, with our desires through energy, through emotion, through thinking about them, but more importantly, feeling them as if they're already here. And we can feel good all day long. We don't need our goal to happen to feel good. We don't need anything to happen to feel good. We put parameters around that, like, well, when this happens, I'll feel happier. If this happens, I'll feel relieved. Or if this happens, I'll feel loved. But we can feel whatever we want to feel now. So I just challenge you to be intentional about that this week and just notice what happens. Just notice if anything serendipitous happens this week. Yes, exactly. Happiness attracts happiness because happiness is the frequency of happiness. So therefore, we are a match for happiness. So not only is your subconscious looking for more happiness, but energetically, I believe it was last week, we talked about the heart coherence field. Energetically, you are feeling that happiness in your heart. You are sending that electromagnetic frequency out into the field around us. And that's what is being responded to. This field that can be measured from our heart. So keep that in mind. And just remember, become that person now. You already are that person. You wouldn't be able to think about what you want, to think about the version of you that has it, if it wasn't already within you. So you're not separate from it. You already are it. You just have to practice being that version of you. And there might be some deeper things that are going on. If you would like deeper support, you can always reach out to me. We could do a one-on-one session together. But just notice, write those things down. If you feel called to, burn it, and then just be aware of that this week. Be intentional about how you show up this week, how you think about your goals. Can you keep your goal and your desire in that energy of gratitude, of excitement, of possibility? Or do you shift into the energy of frustration, of disappointment before you even have it met, because you're just preparing yourself for it to not happen? What do you normally do? Notice. Just notice. And then if you feel called to do so, shift that energy back into that frequency of desire, back into that frequency of excitement, of gratitude, of appreciation. So that is the exercise this week. So if you feel called to do it, I'll be curious to hear if anything happens for you this week. And yeah, I will see you next Monday at 11 a.m. Eastern time for the next Mindset Monday, where we will do another exercise. And I hope that you get to see the solar eclipse. It'll be really exciting. And Zach will be live this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern time for his office hours in the group. And I believe that that's all. Practice makes improvement. Yes, practice makes improvement. Joy attracts joy. And that's the thing. This is all just a practice. It's not perfection. It's just practice. We're just all practicing being a version of ourselves that we want to be. Right? We're not going to be perfect. It's not going to be an everyday thing, but it's who are we in those moments of imperfection? Can we recognize our imperfection as already being perfect as it is? We don't need to be perfect in order to have what we desire, because sometimes we can see other people that have what we want and we're like, oh, they must have their shit together, right? They must have it all figured out. They must have their shit together. When in reality, everybody is walking around like we're just big little kids. We're figuring it out as we go. There are some people that are so terrified to take action, but they take the action. There are some people that still doubt themselves, but they're putting themselves out there. They're still aligning to their goals. So everybody has those moments, but they choose to shift out of them. They choose to embody the version of themselves that has what they want anyways. They choose to take the action anyways. They choose to be scared and take the action, right? They choose to feel empowered anyways. And that is what separates someone from having what they want to someone like looking on the sidelines, just saying like, oh, must be nice, right? It is nice, but it was also scary as shit because it took a lot of fear, like a lot of fearful action, right? So yeah, I think that is all. Faith without works is dead. Yes. And that's what faith is. It's having that belief that something can happen before it's happening. It's seeing it as done before it's done. Using your imagination, using your energy to align to what you want before you have it. And then believing in yourself and believing that you're not alone, because you're not. There's so much that's going on behind the scenes. Just think about what all had to happen for you to be where you are right now. It's crazy. We'll talk about this on a different live. But okay, so that is all for today. I hope you guys have a wonderful Monday, and I will see you next week. Bye.